It's the bacon, egg, and cheese show with Lady Luck, Bad Bunny, and I go by Miss Lissa. We gon' wake that ass up. Alright, it's the bacon, egg, and cheese show. And cheese show, we give you what you need, yo. You need, yo. Every 3 times a week, yo. It's the bacon, egg, and cheese show. And cheese show.
Yeah, bacon, egg, and cheese, about to wake that ass up. Girl, who is you playing with? Wake that ass up. Told your big daddy when you wake your ass up. Yo, what is you waiting for? Wake that ass up.
After we do the show, then stop. Then what? Subscribe it like it's hot. After we do the show, then stop. Now what? Subscribe it like it's hot. Now subscribe it like it's hot. Now subscribe it like it's hot. BEC, so subscribe it like it's hot. So subscribe it like it's hot. So subscribe it like it's hot. BEC, so subscribe it like it's hot. So subscribe it like it's hot. Subscribe it like it's hot.
All right, everybody's here. Everybody's
Okay.
here. Our guest is here as well, so let's pull her
Get it,
up,
girl.
ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Bad
We are.
Miss Lissa?
I feel up and it's stuck.
Hey guys.
Good morning.
Hey.
What's going on? We got Karetova. Oh, no, that's the wrong
Be here
word.
with
I
you
think
all
with
today.
the crowd applause.
We're excited to have you. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're tuning in from Atlanta. Is that where you're from?
So,
I'm originally from California, but I've lived in. I grew up in California, lived in upstate New York, lived in the Midwest, New Orleans, and now Atlanta is home.
Oh, you,
I
Never
worked
Brooklyn,
in Brooklyn,
right?
but
That's right.
Brooklyn. But I would take
She got my money in Brooklyn. She got
I
money.
would take the train down to Poughkeepsie and then just train in, go work for the days, and back up to Troy, just outside of Albany.
That's fire. So when I met you, I was just blown away by your whole history and how much you're like one of the dopest photographers out. Your eye is so different. I loved everything that I had learned about you in that short period of time. I was like, yo, we have to bring you on, let you speak to the guests, just find out a little bit about your history. And welcome to the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Show. I'm Lady Luck. This is media phenom, talented phenom.
Hi, how are you?
Miss Lissa. This is rapper, actress, entrepreneur, queen of the ring, owner, first of her name.
and we
Bad
all
Bunny.
know the media maven, mogul, rapstress that is Lady Luck.
Thank you. So I just wanted to get into it. Like, was photography always your passion? Like,
Yeah,
growing
my
up,
mom
or
was
how did you
actually
get
an
into it?
artist. She passed away in 2014, and she was an artist, so she would always try to teach me to paint and draw. And I still draw squiggly stick figures. Like I am not a painter, a drawer, none of that like she was. And so I started picking up a camera, and that became my art form and stuff. And I became obsessed with cameras. Like I would literally, like my parents got so mad because I would take apart their cameras because I wanted to see how they function, what they, so I
I
was,
love that.
I was all about the cameras and stuff.
Did you put them
Yeah,
back
like I
together
took
as
them
well?
apart as far as I could, and then I would put them back together. So
How did you feel when it transitioned from, to into digital photography? Were you excited, or did you feel like that took away the essence, like, the dark room and, like certain things that you had to do back in the day?
you know what? I still go in the dark room once in a while, but
That's
I
your shit.
love the digital age, and stuff in that instant, if you're getting it right away. When I was starting off, you don't know how many times I would go to do my roll of film, and then it'd just be like, oh crap, it wasn't in there right, or, so I like the digital age where I can just send things right away and see what I want right away. And, so it was a big transition from going, from doing, because like first I like every photographer, I started like, let me do nature shots, let me do this. And then I would go to music festivals and I would watch the photographers in the photo pit, and I would just be like, man, one day I want to do that. But back then I didn't really have a voice, and I was such an introvert, and stuff. Like talking to people was just like so hard for me. And Yeah, and so like I started so I took like a collection because my friends would tell me, oh, your photography is good, this and that, you know, and then my ex-husband's grandmother bought me like a really nice camera for Christmas one year, and so I'm like, well, let me start shooting a little bit more. So I started this like awful generic website. Like I had pictures of flowers, pictures of people, concert photography, like pictures of a dog. I mean, it was awful and stuff. And I didn't want to tell people that I had this website because I didn't think I was good enough. Because my whole life I was raised being told why I wasn't pretty enough. I was always told when I wanted to try something why I would fail at it. I wasn't skinny enough. I wasn't this. I wasn't that. I wasn't smart enough. You know, so I heard a lot of reasons why I would fail. So I was always afraid of success. And so I went onto Twitter and started following people on Twitter. And there's a magazine out of New York called QRO. And they had an article from a band that I liked. And I like, you know, that was a really great article. Happy I found it. And they ended up sending me a message 2 days later saying, hey, we died at that first line. And they're like, but, you know, we see you're new, but we also have like a really crazy photography. Do you want those in your area? So that's how I got into the music industry, was completely through Twitter.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's how people linked up. You know, shout out to Twitter, shout out to MySpace. Definitely places where people have definitely linked up. So I want to talk about the how you overcame all of the negative things that you were told as a child for you to transition into like such this lovely spirit and such this, you know, amazing person. But on top of that, you know, you're in the industry and you work with everybody.
Like,
So
and
I
I'm going to admit, I'm really trying to hold in the tears right now with the phone call I received about Trouble yesterday. You know, and so I'll talk about my history a little bit, and I'll slide into that because he was a little piece of my career when I first came here to Atlanta. Him and Akbar V were the people that kind of vouched for me, you know, rapper-wise in the city, you know. So, you know, it wasn't like we were best friends. Like I talked to him every day. I had his number on my phone. We would talk once in a while. You know, whenever we saw each other, it was all love. You know, but that was a really hard hit, you know, to get that phone call yesterday and open my eyes and I get that phone call. So another hit for Atlanta, you know, and you know, and that kind of revolves around back to like my career and me starting off in the industry, you know, and stuff. Like I grew up in a very small, tight-knit Russian community out in California. You know, and it's very similar to like the Jewish community where you're like born in it, you marry in it, you die in it, you know. And so I was always kind of like shoved into this little box of my community where I never really fit in. I was always the weird kid, or, you know, I always had my friends, but it was like always kind of like I never still quite fit in. You know, I didn't even fit in with I grew up predominantly around my dad's family, and I didn't really even fit in with any of them. So there was a lot of insecurities I had growing up. You know, and then with my mom, you know, and then with my mom, she always tried to kind of adjust to who I was. But then it was always that thing of, there was always that thing of what's the family going to think? What's the culture going to think? You know, so it was like they tried to just keep me in this jar all the time, you know. And so I never really, I fought a lot with myself because I knew who I wanted to be and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't allowed to be it, you know. And so I just grew up and just living by what I thought others thought I should do. Never what I wanted to do for myself. It was always what everybody else thought I should be doing, you know. And when I ended up moving to New York, it was my first time moving away from my family. I didn't know anybody except for, at the time, my ex-husband. So it was a place for me to kind of go and restart who I wanted to be, because now I can go somewhere and people aren't going to tell me, oh, you changed. Oh, that's not who you are. You're this person over here. So when I moved to New York, it was really that first thing of like, oh, I could breathe for once. I you know, nothing's going to be on my family name. You know, it's all me out here, you know, and when I did go, all I heard was, you're going to be back, you're going to fail, you're going to, you know, but then I learned, you know, and it was the first time I learned that I can go somewhere and be like, okay, I want to do this and do it and accomplish it, you know. And so, you know, so it was really when I moved to New York that I started to really grow and figure out who I was as a person and what I wanted.
Yes, New York will do that to
No,
you.
you know,
Jersey won't really do that for you. But New York City will
Man.
do that for you.
Shut up. You know, I mean, besides your story and how you came into, you know, who you are and what you've accomplished and stuff, just hearing these things is important to me, because it's like you heard so many negative affirmations, and a lot of people hear that growing up. So you know, I'm just so thankful you got.
And you want to know who's really responsible for, because like I came into the music industry as Nina, the person that would hide behind the camera and run away kind of thing, you know. And then I became Nina K, you know, and then I got my chain finally, Karetova, because I'm finally who I'm meant to be, you know, and stuff, you know. And so it was like really when I came to Atlanta is when I really found myself, because I mean, I still walked through life like I'd gone through a divorce, you know, and that was kind of like it was a constrictive 12 years of my life of not being, you know, who I wanted to be. You know, I couldn't talk about God. I couldn't talk about spirituality. You know, there was no bond on any of that stuff. So I had to put a lot of my viewpoints on the sideline and become somebody else, you know. And in 2014, when my mom passed away, her and I were in the room alone, and her very last conversation with me was her telling me that, first of all, she apologized for the way that I was raised, because she said, we were trying to keep you in a box, but you were a butterfly that was meant to be free. And we didn't know how to raise a butterfly. We only knew how to keep things in boxes, you know. So she admitted, you know, and really apologized. And she said God gave her a vision and showed her every single thing I went through my life. And she said, I saw things about you that you don't even, you know, that I didn't even know about you. And I'm like, oh crap, what did he show her? You know? There was some stuff. But she said, you know, she apologized, and she said a lot of those bad decisions I was making, you know, was reflective of the way that I was raised, you know, trying to keep me in that box. And so she said, moving ahead, what I need to do is to stop living my life for anybody else. She said, live your life for yourself. She said, because at that time I was running a department at a university. I was more in the corporate world doing photography on a part-time kind of thing. And she told me quit everything that I was doing, because God gave her a vision of where I'm going and what I'm meant to do. And she said, quit your job at the university, stop living for the family, stop doing everything. She goes, you know, she goes, I know you haven't been happy in your marriage, and that if you need to. She goes, but start living your life for yourself. Put your camera in your hand, because it's going to take you to places and people you never dreamed you would be around, or places you would go. But she said, God showed her where I'm going to end up. And she said, it's not with your camera in hand. She goes, you are going to make such a profound impact and influence, not just in your community, how you want to do, but she goes, what you're going to do is going to be more of a world impact. You're going to make your impact is going to be like waves, just continuous waves, you know. And so, yeah. So with that conversation, you know, it was just kind of like, after she passed away, you know, I went and quit my job, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I made it happen, and you know, here I am today in Atlanta with people I never dreamed of, you know, and going places that I never thought I would go, and you know, and it's been a lot of struggles. She told me my family would stop talking to me. She told me the community would turn their back. She said that God showed her like that there would be days where I wouldn't even want to wake up and live anymore. And she said, you're going to go through so many struggles, and you're going to want to give up so many times. And and she goes, you were going to hit rock bottom on a couple different occasions, but she goes, you just have to keep faith and just know it's part of, you know, your journey and part of your process. She goes, just don't lose the faith, because where you're meant to be is so beautiful that you're going to have to see a lot of darkness to get there. And I definitely a lot of darkness to get, you know, and I'm not even where I'm meant to be yet.
No, your story is so inspiring, and I had no idea about all of this. And shout out to your mom, shout out to the Holy Spirit,
Yeah,
God,
I mean,
the visions,
just
you know,
like
God be coming through
people,
with the vision.
like when I tell them like my spirituality, you know, and like the awakening I've had, like I became a social person for, you know, like I've always had, you know, some people around me, you know, and everything. But now I'm pretty much, if I'm not working, I'm at home by myself, protecting my energy, because I'm in a huge season of manifestation and spiritual elevation. And there's, you know, and it's like for me to continue to be a light in the darkness of the industry, because, you know, people don't like to hear that. Everybody thinks the industry is such a glamorous place, but it is one of the darkest places at times, you know, and I choose to be a light. So I have to retreat and pull away from everybody. So people don't see me out in the clubs anymore, unless I'm getting paid to be in the clubs. People don't see me out anymore. You know, I protect myself.
You on mute.
Well, are you still active with your camera?
Oh yeah, definitely active with my camera. You know, I was just up in the clubs this weekend with Block Lily and Big Boogie. I'm actually on Wednesday heading to New York to work for a week.
Hit me up when you get to New York, you heard?
I definitely, yeah. And then I was in Florida last week working. So I'm just doing things on a different level right now. So, and I really haven't posted anything that I'm doing, because when I do start posting again, because I went so like under the radar for a minute, that when I do start posting, it's just going to be like I was just with DaBaby, you know, and I caught photos of him on stage, and, you know, so it's going to be just like, whoa, wait, she hasn't been anywhere, but look at all this stuff she's been doing. So I just got tired of, honestly, I just kind of got tired of sharing everything I do.
You speaking to my spirit right now. I had to mute my phone because I'm going through a sermon right now, and God just wanted me to listen, because are you a Leo?
I'm a
Can I claim you? Okay, I knew you was a fire sign, but don't worry, because nobody's perfect, but God got you. Now, you are
Real
really
quick,
speaking
Lissa,
to...
let me, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you
No,
was
go ahead.
going into a topic. No, I thought you was going into a topic. I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead.
Oh, well, really quick, can you run off some of the names of the artists and people that you've worked with that made you go like, wow, I'm on. This is like part of my dream, part of my journey.
God, there's been so many, and everybody always laughs because they're like, you're so nonchalant about everything, you know. Like, to me, it's like not about who the people are. For me, it's about like energy and connection, because I'm on something different with my career. But I mean, I shot Young Buck's album cover last year. Goody Mob, I was the first photographer in 12 years to shoot Goody Mob. So like I've had CeeLo in here, all of them, Fabo, Lil Scrappy. Right now, the artist that I work with, Rozzy, he is blowing up big. He's the next thing, you know, coming up. So he's been working really hard. So a lot of my attention is on Rozzy right now. So if you guys don't know who he is, Rozzy_TV here on Instagram. He's the one to watch.
How do you spell Rozzy?
R-A-Z-I.
I worked with Goody Mob too. I saw the
into
pictures
the
of
other room
CeeLo
to show you
and them.
how it all went with Goody Mob. I have the stuff in the other room because I could show you like my work with Goody Mob. Yeah, they actually did a limited edition vinyl. And so when you open it up, it's my photography, and then the sleeve is my photography, and my name is actually stamped on their album. So for survival.
That's fire. Well,
when I saw that, I'm not gonna lie, I cried when I saw that. Like, oh my God, Goody Mob stamped me, you know. And you know, and then one of my other, like, everybody always asks me who's your number one hip hop crush, you know, and stuff, or who's that. And I always say, I know he's married, so there's nothing beyond. And I've told him to his face, like, you are my number one. Big Hearts and Explosion is always Killer Mike and stuff. Like, And so like to have that relationship with him and Shay that, we've built over the years has been really tremendous, because for me, my whole career isn't about clout. And it's not about me being like, oh, I hang out with this person. I do this. I know that person. For me, it's about building those connections with those people, because I want to build stronger communities, and I want to make a difference for the kids coming up. I want the communities that I live in and the communities beyond to be strong, to unite, to come together, to overtake, what's going on in this world. So for me, it's about having those relationships where I can call up Killer Mike or TI and be like, hey, we're doing an event at the community center this weekend. Can you come down for like maybe 20 minutes and just give the kids a speech? And because I'm building those type of relationships, instead of like, I want your money, I want to work, I want to do this, and I stopped chasing the money and I started building those relationships. Now I'm able to call those people and they will back me on those things, and
we don't chase, we attract, baby. You are preaching today, okay? The kids is getting a bacon, egg, and cheese sermon today. Is extra substance in the sandwich, and I appreciate you. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, and thank you so much. And the thing is like here in Atlanta, I was on the front lines of all the protests and everything, because I didn't want to be a person, when I do work in these community centers and work with kids, I never wanted them to be able to say, oh, where were you during it all? Oh, I was at home watching it on CNN. I wanted kids to know, no, I was out here fighting for you. I was fighting for your freedom. And I knew that my camera would capture the truth to where media would put what media wanted you to see, so I captured a lot of footage that was different than what media was saying was going on. And that footage actually got picked up in an award-winning documentary on called From Pain to Power, that's on Revolt TV. And yeah, so all the footage on there is either from DC or Atlanta, and it's all my footage, and so people were calling me, like my phone was going off because people were watching me on CNN as they were wrecking apart the CNN building, and I'm there dodging glass and rocks as they're busting windows and fire bombs. But my camera caught that footage, and people were calling me from all over the United States. What are you doing? Get out of there. But for me, it was important because I got, and there's a whole story of me ending up in hip hop, but it's like, if I wasn't out there, I was out there from the start to the finish here in Atlanta. And for me, if I wasn't out there supporting the community that supports me so much, because like people don't understand, like my sister passed away in 2019, my dad passed away, my mom passed away, and my two brothers don't speak to me. And a lot of my family doesn't talk to me because of my involvement in the Black community. I'm like a shame or embarrassment, or they think that you all have me doing drive-bys, and and it's
I'm glad that you're actually going and speaking about that.
Like I've heard so many rumors of myself, and I'm like, really? What did I black out and do? I'm like, wait, huh?
Not blackout, you white out.
But for me, but for me, it's like, for me, it's not my place to be a voice for the Black community, because the Black community has the most beautiful, strong voice, but what my place is for the Black community to educate me on what's needed and where my place is, because there's going to be doors that I'm going to be able to open, that you might not be able to open. And it's like, I'm not here to, just be like, oh, I know everything. Because what, like the systematic oppression, everything, I've seen it through a different set of eyes. You guys have lived it. I was on the other side of it, watching it being done.
I want to say this real quick. Wait, let me say this. Because I was just watching this movie called The Banker. I don't know if any of y'all seen it, with Anthony Mackie and Samuel L. Jackson. But it was about this guy. It's a true story about this guy he's from Texas, small town in Texas. And then he moved to LA, and he wanted to buy property. He wanted to get into real estate. And, back in those days, this was in the 50s. And so they wasn't letting Black people get loans or to buy property in white neighborhoods. And he only wanted to get property in white neighborhoods. So he partnered up with this white guy, and he was the face. He would go in there and he would, lock down the deal, but homeboy was his partner. Then he died. And then they ain't had nothing in paperwork, nothing in writing. And so they played him because the guy who died, his wife was like, yeah, I know you was his partner, but I'm not working with no N-word. And you gonna take this little bit of money I'm offering you, or you not getting nothing because you can't prove it in a court of law. And so anyway, he had to take it. Then he had a white friend, like you're gonna be my white friend, my good white friend. And so what he did was he got his white friend, and he taught his white friend everything because he was nice with the math and all of that. And his white friend was like, yo, I don't know how to do all of that. He was like, yeah, but you got the complexion for the protection. And at the end of the day, we gonna teach you everything, and you gonna go in there and close all these deals. So long story short, at the top of their success, they owned like 150 buildings. Like they was buying buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and so his white friend was the one who was locking in all the deals, but they was partners. And this time they had it on paper. So I might need you to lock in the deal because they still be doing that.
Yep.
Karen's doing a lot in the community right now, and I definitely want everybody to follow her and her journey and things of that nature, because we're truly thankful for her and appreciative of her. And me and her's gonna be doing work, and I know Lissa and Babs, you know, they're both legends and they want work too. So we just thank you for joining.
I wanted to say something
show.
about you. We were saying for us to show you your place. I just want to say to you, first of all, just I appreciate you identifying, you know, white privilege and wanting to figure out how you can help with that. I feel like your place starts within your home, with your family members that are prejudging you, and those people to really like enlighten them and show them, you know, what it really is. Like the brother that doesn't speak to you, reach out to him, like come with love, like you in that higher frequency, like, you know, like really show him, because at this point, like they have a negative, and you ain't gotta like, you know, bend over backwards, but I feel like you should at least reach out, and you know, it starts with your family, like just showing them that they are wrong.
Yeah, I did one of my brothers recently, and my other brother I've left messages, but
at least you tried. That's all I'm saying. God knows that you trying, because like I said, you and I feel like I'm in that same space. Like I'm not going outside for anything that's not going to be like conducive to my journey, but whether it's like monetary value or just spiritual value, like just adding value. And I just really, like I said, I feel like you are here for a reason. So thank God that you and Lady Luck connected and that you're here, because people do need to hear this. Everything that you're saying, like there aren't a lot of people talking about that. And that kind of leads into our next topic. So the Children's Museum of Indianapolis, do you have any family members there? Go get them.
In Indianapolis, no.
Perfect. Good. Then they didn't do this. So they are apologizing because they put on sale for Juneteenth, which is the emancipation of the Black folk from slavery. So it's a celebration every June 19th. And they had a watermelon salad. Let me just show you the damn salad. They said they sorry. They sorry. They removing it from the menu. They didn't know. And that's what I'm saying, just things like this. So, you know, I don't need to ask you how you feel about that, because I know. But I'm just saying that this is the problem. Lady Luck, how do you feel about that? What do you feel like should be done?
Well, first of all, I don't even like grape soda, and I've never had a watermelon salad. So I think, you know, with the cheese on it, so I think whoever's idea was smart. Just like the job that had the food and during a certain holiday. I think people, you know, because they're so far gone, they might think, hey, man, this is a good idea. They need to talk it over with one of their friends. Like, what do you think about it?
It would have been more funny for Juneteenth if they would have made potato salad with raisins in it, because that's more funny. Like, just put raisins in the potato salad for Juneteenth. Forget the watermelon.
When I seen it, I laughed. It was like, you know, I understand why people was upset, but for me, just being the person that I am, I'm like, hey, yo, they wilding. Like, that's why I just was like, yo, they wilding, and I just started laughing. And if somebody would have asked me that, like if I worked, you know, corporate or whatever, and they said, yo, what do you think about this? I would have laughed and been like, yo, you wilding. No, but I still would have laughed just that you even thought that's what's up. A watermelon salad is disgusting. Like, who wants a watermelon salad? Like, are you shitting me? We want a shrimp salad
Now,
for June 19th, okay? We want a
Crab legs on sale.
I-
Crab legs
Butter
on sale
sauce.
for June 19th.
Hello? Give Luck a mushroom sandwich.
I have watermelon. Shut up. I had watermelon this morning for breakfast.
Yeah.
Did you want to give any commentary? How do you feel? Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of watermelon altogether. Like, I never liked watermelons, so. But yeah, no, I just,
But
for
do
me,
you put raisins in your potato salad?
I don't understand what goes through people's minds, you know, and it just baffles me, you know, the way people think, and this is going to be acceptable, you know, and
No, they knew what
That's
they was
why-
doing. They knew they
yes,
was
that's
being
what-
funny.
Yeah.
They knew.
Yeah.
That's what makes it
They
so
knew.
funny.
So, in case you never saw the show, this Bacon, Egg, and Cheese, where we chop up the latest topics, dish the dirt, and serve it to you raw. So we run through topics and things of that nature. So if you want to stick around for that, and, you know, we give commentary, that's cool.
Real
Just
quick,
give you a heads
before
up
we
on
get
what's
into
going
the
on.
next topic, I know you in Atlanta. I don't know if you're gonna be there June 25th, but I have an all-female battle league that I've been running for the past 11 years, and we will be in Atlanta June 25th. Queens Court. It's a lit situation. We will be out there, and so I don't know what your schedule is like, but I would love for you to come through with your camera and get busy. I would love to be a part of your catalog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know. Period. Like, so I don't know what your schedule is. I started following you. I'm gonna slide up in your DM like I'm trying to holler, but I want you to come out to the event. Yes, and I'm trying to get you to come out to the event. So we'll see what's up, with your schedule looking like, because I know you're a busy lady.
Yeah, I know that towards the end of the month, beginning of July, I'm gonna. It looks like I might be heading out to London to work for a second. So I don't. It's just crazy because, like I said, I'm very spiritual. I know there's a retrograde going on right now, and with this retrograde, it was either you were going to receive your blessings, or karma was going to bite you hard in the ass. And so I'm definitely happy that I that I did. So you're going to see people either like severely fail during this retrograde going on, or you're going to see people succeed and receive blessings. And I've definitely been getting blessings.
Well, Miss Lissa is on the
Baby, I
blessed
thank
day,
God for your
hun.
favor every day, God.
Uh-huh.
I thank God that, you know, God is showing out. God, thank you, God.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of London.
I told all of y'all that did me dirty that your time was coming, okay? Your time was coming. The karma train is coming in, baby. And it's about to
Karma around the train. Karma around the train. Karma around the train. And ride it. Now, speaking of London, because you said London, you right on time. So in London, there was an event happening. You know, I don't care, because they don't like us, so we don't like them. But there was something was happening with Prince William, his wife, and his son. I'm gonna let y'all look, and then we gonna go to the lady for commentary.
They were celebrating.
That baby going off.
It's the Juneteenth. They were celebrating.
Don't worry about what they celebrating. Worry about what he doing.
I can't see it. What's happening?
You missed it?
Yeah, I can't see it.
Yeah, I can.
Prince William's son, it's a blurry video. It's on the Neighborhood Talk if you need to see it. Prince William's son was going off. He was doing this to his mother, smacking her damn head, trying to shift her wig, putting his hand in her face. He was like, woo! He was doing everything. It was a whole royal tantrum. He is a royal pain in the butt. So we're going to go first to our guest. How would you handle your child? And do you feel like as a royal child, he should get more leeway because he's up next? Like, how do you feel?
No, I honestly think kids that are, you know, under, you know, whether it be queen or president or whatever, need to be actually trained a little more strict because of the roles that they're going to take as adults, you know, as these children. they need to learn early that they're not going to have, you know, they still have to work for what they have. They still have to have empathy. They still have to, you know, have good energy, you know. And if I were her, I would have been like, where the hell's the nanny? Take this kid, take him home. He doesn't need to be here. You know, and so I think a lot of families, when they're privileged families, give their kids too much leeway, and then you see what's happening today in our world, where people just don't have empathy, they don't have common sense, you know. So
Princess Diana probably would have popped her kid, like, calm the hell down, Prince William. What the hell you doing? She would have popped Harry. Like, the hell, go sit over there.
Or pinch. I would have gave him a nice strong pinch. But I feel like, you know, when you watch these videos of these children, I mean, I've seen videos of Northwest falling out when she was younger. You know, kids are going to be kids. I'm pretty sure all of us on here did something bratty when we was a kid. I know he was being extra, but I've seen it. I've seen it. Kids straight up, they just
so
fall
you don't bring
out,
them everywhere.
And not for nothing, though.
North was falling out at a fashion week fashion show. Why you bringing North to the fashion show?
But yeah, the kid had to be there. It's 70 years celebrating the Queen. Alicia Keys performed. Stefflon Don performed.
Go get the royal nanny, like she said.
Yeah.
They had a full
in the public eye. Like, I'm not a parent, but I see, you know, my friends that are, you know, in the public eye with kids. You know, it's like a double-edged sword, because if you let your kid, you know, act up and you don't discipline them in that moment, then, oh my God, look, you're an awful parent. But then if you discipline your kid in that moment, then, oh, look, you're an awful parent.
You're an awful parent.
I'm at you.
And some kids, not for nothing, they'll try you, and it don't mean that they don't get disciplined inside the house. But these kids are smart, B. They'll come outside and turn up because they know they're in public, and you can't beat that while they in public. So they'll try you, like, what? And you be like, yo, I can't wait.
You're supposed to say, do you need to go to the bathroom? So anytime a child was acting up in our family, Grandma would say, do you need to use the bathroom? And when you say no, she's like, yes, you do. And then she take you to the bathroom, and you're going to get talked to in a different kind of way. She's going to get some butter from that duck.
My mom will go in the... Yeah, my mom gave us a look. My mom had very light green eyes. And my friends would be like, it feels like your mom's staring at my soul when she looks at me. But my mom would just give us a look, and we were like, oh, shit.
Yo, not for nothing. Even if you take some kids in the bathroom, you still got to be careful, because they'll scream in the bathroom, and then people like, hey, what's going on? I had some days where I'm like, boy, when we get home, it's on.
I have a look too, but my look, I realized that my look only works with my kid, right? So one day there was a kid in the park that was doing too much with my daughter, right? So my look normally gets my daughter nervous. I looked at him, he said, what's with the crazy eye? I said, get the hell away from me before I beat your mother up. Get away from me. Get away from me before I go. Get away from me. Get away from me. Get the hell away from me.
Nah, shout out to the kid, though, that turned up and got his shine. Kids are going to be kids at the end of the day. And, like, a lot of times, though, you do need a nanny or your shorty, somebody there that you could be like, yo. Because sometimes when I had to take my son certain places with me, I try to have somebody there, shout out to Lotto, where I could be like, yo, get him, okay? Get him. But you got to make sure it's the right friend, because sometimes my friend was just as turned up as my son. And I'm looking at both of them like, yo, what are you doing? I'm looking at him like, yo, what's wrong with you?
So shout out to Giulio. I think I said it right. Giulio. I hope.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie. I've recently, even though I try to be a good person, I mean, I've had to make some apology, you know, because I also suffer, like, from anxiety. And so, like, sometimes when things get shifted around too much or there's too much going on, my anxiety kicks in. It's like, you know, and I can get a little mouthy when it kicks in with the people I'm close with. So there's times where I'm going to, you know, I mean, even as a
Are you okay here on the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Show? Because I know it's a lot going on and a lot of different energies. You good?
I'm now, so.
Okay. It's an energy check. You good? Okay, that Georgia Power is on?
I am so good. I got
okay,
my
because you feel good.
You know, I'm feeling the vibe. You know, and the one thing I do want to say is, you know, like, going back to me becoming Karetova, you know, in the industry, it's like a lot of who I am and what I've become, is because of you all, because of Black women. You know, how I said I was raised being told how I wasn't good enough and everything, you know, and it's one of those things of Black women are the most beautiful, strongest, resilient women on the face of the planet. And so when I came to Atlanta, a couple of the women that embraced me were like, what do you mean you're not skinny enough? What do you mean you're not pretty enough? We're going to give you a weave and we're going to change your life and we're going to make you have your voice.
No. It's all about the weave changing your life. And
it was the unicorn. No, but what happened was the Black women here in Atlanta embraced me and showed me how to look at things differently. And by them doing that, it taught me how to finally embrace myself. And to be like, you know what, I am good enough for all of this. I am, you know, I am pretty.
You deserve these blessings.
Oh,
yes.
and anybody who watched the BEC show know that I'm team BBW, baby. All right? So if you would have pulled up on me, I would have been like, what are you talking about? You a baddie with a fatty.
Yeah.
Hello? What are you talking about?
Beautiful eyes. Yeah, now I'm glad that you met some good people, you know, Black women, but also some good women who have good spirits, and we see, you know, past that line of race and just see a beautiful woman, a beautiful soul, and I'm glad that you were able to experience that.
So, I mean,
have you ever experienced two bottoms? Now, don't look at me crazy. It's Pride Month, and in honor of Pride Month, the Burger King.
I'm like, wait, my mind just went way over here.
I know it did. The Burger King in Austria has launched a Whopper with matching buns. You can either get two bottoms or two tops. Let's take a look at a photo. So you see, it's the two bottoms and the two tops. Now, which one would you prefer? Do you want two sesame seed buns or you like the two bottom pieces? I think I want two bottom pieces, like a flatbread.
Because I'm not a huge bread person. So
yeah, I like that. I'm like, can we have that?
So they
no.
missed the mark with that one for
the boys are loving it.
Can I speak from? I'm just as offended as that. The watermelon salad. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
and look at me. I'm like, that's good. That makes sense. Is that offensive? I didn't even think about that. Look at me being oblivious.
Yeah,
I thought that was fire.
That's why my mind like left for a minute. I'm like, wait a minute, where are we going? Because I'm gonna make some admissions in a minute.
Yeah, when I seen it, I said, hey, this is crazy, but not for nothing. So I came home and my mother was so excited. She said, I bought you something. I said, what? She came out the room and said, Happy Pride! Happy Pride! Yo, B, my mom is wildin', son. So shout out to my mom. She was so excited. And then she bought a set for herself and showing her husband. She like, look what I got. Because you know it's Pride Month. And he's sitting there like, like I ain't eating out some plates. I ain't drinking out some cups. And she gave me my set. Shout out to my mother. Happy Pride. I think she got it from Target. I don't know. But she asked me, we was in the mall like 2 weeks ago. She was like, why is all the rainbow stuff and everywhere we go? I said, Ma, Pride Month is coming up. And so I went away for a little vacay. I came home and here we go. She went back to the mall and got me this set. I'm dead, yo. Shout out to my mom.
Listen.
Can't hear you, Lissa.
I think.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Mute.
I think that I'm providing the feedback that's creating the echo, so I keep muting. So I feel like it's different. So with the watermelon thing, that's a stigma, right? That's something that's not always true. But in the gay community, they call each other tops and bottoms. So two tops and two bottoms, like that's what y'all call each other. So it's different, you know. We don't all like watermelon.
No,
that's not true.
Okay.
That's the.
Okay, well, then I'm
too,
sorry. Allow me to be educated. I'm sorry for my ignorance. But
they should. For the women, they should have did like a double fish sandwich.
Goodbye. A fur burger. A fur burger.
Fish sandwich. with extra tartar.
Not a fur burger. I'm out of here. I hate you. Listen.
Now, moving on to the insect department of the menu. So there is an unorthodox job. I mean, it's not unorthodox to other people. I mean, I guess he's a exterminator. But this video has me feeling the itchy scratchies, and my anxieties got a little crazy. So just get ready for the video. Would you ever do this job?
Nope. No, thank you.
You gotta be a special kind of person.
Yeah, nope.
Now, before you, like, what is the craziest job you have done or will do? I'll give that question to all the ladies on the panel and people in the comments. What is the craziest job you have done or would do? And would you do this if it was for the right? What if you got paid $2,000 a week? Is that enough to do this?
No. I'm sorry. I'm gonna sell my. I'm selling my ASS for I climb in there. I'm sorry. My ASS is on the market. TikTok on OnlyFans. Okay. The vulva is on the market. Before I do that, are you kidding me?
What about $1 million to go in there for 5 minutes?
I'm on my knees. And I'm saying, who do I need to, please? Because I'm not climbing in there, okay? Period. It's not happening.
What about you, Karetova?
Yo,
did I say it right?
$1 million, who wouldn't? Now, if there were like roaches in there, I would be
roaches
like,
in there.
You can give me 10.
It was roaches all.
It was roaches all over him. That's the whole thing. 5 minutes.
Giant water bugs. I'm not doing it.
I can handle the bugs more than I can handle rats or mice. So for $1 million, because I know how many lives I could change with that $1 million, I would do it.
Nah,
you be in here for 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Ah, son, you know how long?
I would just make sure that my hair was really glued down so nothing crawled in and laid eggs.
I know that's right, because I'm in there for 5 million, for $1 million. I'm in there. I might even stay an extra minute if you give me another $1 million. I'm in there like, I'm just gonna sing a song, and in 5 minutes, I'm out of here. I'm gonna be like, it's Bonin Biggie, Biggie. By the time I finish Bonin Biggie, Biggie, 5 minutes.
And I'm gonna wait for them to give you that bag, and I'm coming for it because I'm not going in there. Okay. Stick up, kids. It's out to Matt.
Yo, I hate it. So Karetova, every morning we go over topics, and I hated that video. Well, we just send each other topics 24 hours a day. I hated that shit so much I erased it out of our text message just so I couldn't see it if I scroll past something. I have a phobia of those. Like, nah, I'm not. Listen, no, there's no $1 million. I mean, maybe 10. And I would say, God have thou forsaken me.
A tax-free $1 million for 5 million for 5 minutes. And then every minute after that is an additional $1 million.
Give me some goggles. Give me some
Y'all
goggles.
have to give,
I'm in there. It's Bonin Biggie, Biggie. It's Bonin Biggie, Biggie. Just Bonin Biggie, Biggie. Ride left, ride left. By the time you finish that part, get high and get high. That's right, 4 minutes. Armed and dangerous. Ain't too many can bang with us. By the time I'm done, I'm out. Out.
Yeah,
It's mental.
Yeah.
It's mental.
No, 5 minutes.
Stop it, God, to keep me safe in there. Don't let anything crawl in my ears, anything under my hair.
Oh,
We change topic, yo. Oh man, please, y'all. Please, can we change the topic? Please.
So it's time to get into our chit chat topic. So our chit chat topic is a little more in depth. So today's chit chat topic is it okay for a friend to step into the same lane or business as you? Y'all didn't start it together. You're already doing it. They decided that they want to jump into the same lane as you. Would that be okay with you? Would you feel some kind of way? We're going to go to our guests first, and then the ladies, people in the comments, we want to know how you're feeling. It's the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Show, baby.
You know, I'm all for it. You know, I'm going to support my friends and the people that are close to me and whatever they want to do. You know, I'm always going to help. I'm not in my lane. You know, I'm not competing with anybody because I know who I am and what I do. And just because my friend does it doesn't mean they're going to do it how I do, you know, and they might be better at it. They might be worse at it, but they're going to have my support for it. So, because I'm not competing with anybody, I want to see everybody win. You know, it's like, if they're doing what I'm doing, it's like, how can we collaborate and do it together? You know, let's go. What do you need help from me? And that's the thing too. Like, I get a lot of photographers come up to me and saying, hey, you know, I know a lot of photographers don't like to share this and that, but how do you, or where do you? And I'm just like, inbox me anytime on Instagram. I'll tell you what my camera settings were. I'll tell you what I used. You know, because, you know, and everybody tells me, aren't you afraid that you're going to teach people and then they're going to go for the same jobs as you and you're going to lose a job? And I'm like, no, I go, because if I teach somebody and bring somebody up under me and they go for the same job as me and they get it, then I did what I was supposed to do. You know, I'm going to be proud because I know that your success that you're going to receive, I was part of it. So I don't really see there ever being a problem of somebody coming in my lane and wanting to do what I do, because the way they do it and the way I do it are going to be two different things regardless, because nobody has my energy, my spirit, my heart. They have a different spirit, energy, and heart. So let's.
No, that's all good and dandy, and that sounded very beautiful, but it depends on what this field is. Now, if the homie want to rap, you know what I mean? I might tell you where to get the studio time, this, that, and the third. The homie want to take some pictures because I do everything. But if it's a niche, like if I start a juice company and then you turn around and tell me that you're going to start a juice company, then I'm unhappy. You get what I'm saying? Like this hair going in my eyes. So it's just certain things. Like if you going to go DJ, then fine. Because I know when I went to go DJ and I was calling people to say that I wanted to DJ, people weren't trying to give me equipment. When I was doing music placement, I had a friend since Def Jam, I'm not gonna say his name, and he's a big producer, and he was doing music placement for years. I'm talking about years. He has big shows on. Soon as I told him what I was doing, he ain't answer the phone anymore. So it all depends. I will support you if it's a field like that, but if it's something like, come on, man, I just told you that I was doing a CBD company. You could agree with her, Miss Lissa, but
But remember when you
saying,
called me and asked me how I felt about you starting a glasses company? I supported that.
Because it's different, you know what I mean? Like I said, so with this, your glasses, you have all kind of different styles.
But if I would have said I have one juice, Lady Luck, I have this one juice, you would have said no. Like, isn't that the same thing?
Nah, if it all depends. Like, you know, I get irritated if I tell somebody I'm getting a certain kind of tattoo, and they be like, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I would get it too." I'd be like, nah, you know what I'm saying? So
I do like media, and I have a lot of friends in media, and I'll have even people that ask me like questions and stuff, and I like to share because I feel like people always like it's exactly what Karetova was saying. People always want to try to like limit your resources because sometimes people feel like lighting your fire takes away from their flame. But even when I was doing Wendy Williams, they would TMZ, I would send them other media people. When I find out about auditions, even now for like comedians and stuff, I send it to them as well because I feel like whoever's supposed to get it is going to get it. And for me, I treat media like basketball. I feel like I'm the best. So if you feel like you're the best, we need to play one-on-one and see who wins. Like, because that's how you prove you're really the best. Because you have to be surrounded by the best. It's like that movie, Bring It On. Like, bring it, baby. Because if it's meant for you, you going to get it. Bring it. Bring it.
Bring it. Yeah, I think it's definitely.
It's everything. Like if you know, like you want to battle rap, I'm gonna help. Like I support people. You guys know I do. I love people. But like I said, if I'm doing something that's my niche, and I'm, you know, and this is like something that's not, you know,
yeah,
I'm gonna do the same
like,
thing. It's
me,
like
it depends on the situation. Like, not for nothing. Let's just say you own a camera shop. You know, you selling cameras. This is, even though you're a photographer, you decided I'm gonna open up this shop that sells cameras and X, Y, and Z. And so you opened it up in the neighborhood that you know there's no camera shops. It's a lot of clientele. You're gonna get this business. And then one of your friends say one day, hey, I want to open up a camera shop. And now they want to open it up, but they want to use all your connections that you worked for. And it's just, for me, it's like, nah, because now if I give you all of this,
See, but that's the thing is for me, it's not like people come at me all the time for like connections and stuff. And it's like, I don't give that out. I'll support you and I'll like help you, but I'm not going to give you, my connection. I'm not going to give you my people. I might introduce you to somebody so you can start your own path. But I mean, and it's about energy too. Is somebody coming at it sincerely with good energy and a good heart, or are they coming into it as like, oh, I'm going to do you in?
I feel like it's never good energy when you're trying to do something that you didn't do. Now, if you were somebody that was into the same field that I'm in, we're friends, and you said like, one day I'm gonna open up this. If I know it's something that you do, that's different. But for you to wake up one day and say, hey, I'm gonna open up this store because I feel like it's a great opportunity for me to make money. At the end of the day, some way, somehow, y'all are going to be in competition because that's how business work. If I open up a burger shop and my best friend say, well, I'm going to open up a burger shop, but I'm going to sell double patties on my burger. Where you buy your meat from? You know what I'm saying? Or what if they come to you and be like, yo, where you bought your meat from? And then you tell them, and then a month later, they open up a burger shop.
Competition breeds awareness, though, so it's about how you look at it.
I'm thinking it's just a conversation. They asking you questions, but you don't even know that they asking you this shit because they want to go buy wholesale meat patties for their burger shop they're about to open up.
Competition breeds awareness, and I feel like as long as you on top of your game, like I'm in competition with me. I want to be better than I was yesterday, and anybody trying to outwork me, baby, I'm trying to outwork myself. So just saddle up and get ready, because I'm telling you, I just feel like, I feel like what Babs is saying is not wrong. I feel like, were you supporting me when I had my camera shop? Did you come buy a camera? Are you inspired by the journey? I understand. But if you never supported my camera shop and now you're just trying to take my resources, that's some bullshit. But if you was supporting my camera shop and you told your friends, oh, check out her camera shop, look at her photos, and then in that process, somehow you got inspired and now you want to start, you're still behind me. I've been doing this however long I've been doing it. And as long as I don't stop, you're going to try to run faster. But if I'm doing what I need to do and I'm focused on me, it's enough blessings for everybody. God going to bless you. And if it's not meant for you, God going to show you. Because sometimes we see people doing things and we like, damn, I want to do that. And it's like, if it's not meant for you, it's not your blessing. And sometimes that's a problem too, with people, instead of supporting a friend, they try to become competition. And God going to show you that's not your blessing.
Yeah, or, people... Yeah, it's just weird out here at the end of the day. And the reason why, I was watching, shout out to Super Kid, I was watching her live and she had brought that up. Somebody asked her like about bonnets, and she was like, I would never get in the same lane as any of my friends, and she got a big following. So imagine her saying, I'm gonna sell bonnets now. So her friend that even if she was supporting her, all that support is gone now, and it's going to go to her because she got the fame, she got the following. So now it's like, yo, whatever. She was like, she would never sell nail polish. She would never sell, certain things that her friends do. And so I understand that because
that's because she's a real one. Ethically, you should not do it. Because if you're a real one, you're going to be promoting your friend shit, and y'all supposed to one hand wash the other, both hands wash the face. Ethically, no, you shouldn't. But do I owe you that? No, nobody owes you anything, so you can't expect that. Like, people ain't shit.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like even me coming into the industry, like one of the biggest people in the industry is Johnny Nunez. And I met Johnny Nunez when I first, like my first DJ award show, the Global Spin Awards. There's this guy standing on the red carpet looking all tired and half asleep, and I didn't know who he was. And I went up and was like, we should be having fun, you know, we ended up exchanging information, and we talked back and forth for a couple weeks before I even, you know, discovered who he was. And when I finally saw who he was, I was like, oh shit, Johnny, you're the real deal, you know. And I never once asked him for anything. You know, when I came to Atlanta, he wasn't in favor of me coming to Atlanta. He's like, come back to New York, we'll set you up in New York, go out to California, you know. And I'm like, no, Johnny, watch, I'm gonna do it. And in my whole time, Johnny has done a, you know, like Johnny got my first job with working at Essence Festival. He took me onto his team with Essence Fest. So I'm not saying he never did anything, because that's a lie. But when it came to building my career out here, I never once said, hey, Johnny, can you call so-and-so and hook this up for me? Can you do this? You know, the only times I ever asked him was I had troubles at a door one time, you know, and he called their manager directly and was like, hey, you know, my sister is at the door and can't get in, you know, can you help her out? And then, you know, and of course he's going to give me his stamp of approval if people mention my name. But I never, like, I can never imagine for myself, even though I know he would give me whoever I wanted, I could never imagine being, hey, Johnny, you know, Drake's going to be in town, hook this up for me. It's like, no, I'm going to go do it myself.
People do it, and it's peace.
Shout out to Johnny, but also shout out to Ernie Pinacholi, legendary photographer from Right On Word Up magazine, being acknowledged at the Grammy Museum right now in New Jersey. We love you, Johnny, but we giving Ernie his flowers. That's the OG, O triple O OG. You heard?
Yeah, and shout out to him. But people, damn, I lost track of my thought, Lissa. What was I saying? You don't know?
No, I don't.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
That's how I
So
be feeling.
All right. So I was saying that people will ask you for stuff, and they're not in a position to give it back. You know, so it's one hand watch the other. So if I'm gonna give you connections, then I should be able to get some connections from you. But when you're dealing with people that's trying to get on and they don't have no connections, and so they trying to milk you for all of yours when you put in the hard work to get that, because these contacts are not easy to get. These relationships we work hard to build. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes people don't understand that. They just like, hey, can you hook me up, or can you act such and such? And you know, you can't get none of that from them. They can't help you.
That's why people should be paid for their intellectual property. You should not just be giving anything away. Everything comes with a fee, whether it's monetary value or, like I said, it's all about raising value. You shouldn't just be picking someone's brain. Like, what are you putting back? We want to be fountains and not draining people. So stop always wanting to put stuff back into the culture. Even lawyers have to do, like, you know, per diem. You have to put something back into the culture, period. Stop trying to just always take.
And speaking of the culture, Dre, send me my session so we get this album mixed and done. All right. So we out of here, man. I got work to do, man. Karetova, thank you for joining the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Show. We
Yes,
love
thank you so much. It's a great episode. Everyone, make sure y'all lock in, follow her, and don't forget to follow the BEC Show on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stop playing with us. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because you don't want to miss any of these gems that are being dropped every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on Instagram. Al.
Yes, hit the
and June 19th, I'm going to be at Caroline. Get your tickets.
Yo, what? Say it again.
I said, please go to Carolines.com and get your tickets, because on June 19th, I'll be in Carolines on Broadway for the first time, a legendary venue for comedians. This is my emancipation. It's June 19th and Father's Day celebration.
But besides legendary, that's the launch pad of a lot of people's careers. So I'm super excited to see what's going to come out of this. And I'm super proud of you and happy that I could call you sister and friend. And you put in a lot of work with God and the people. You are really just heading great places. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that y'all know that y'all had the privilege of watching us three. Of course, Karetova, her mother told she was going to take over the world. But you know what I'm saying? Miss Lissa is doing her thing. Make sure y'all go and watch her now before that price go up. You heard me? All right, we out of here.
Tickets on sale now. Hit the link in my bio. June 25th, ATL. This is a lit situation. Queen of the Ring, Queen's Court. You already know the vibes.
Bunny, and I go by Miss Lissa.
And follow Karetova. She's
Toba,
gonna
I'm
post
on
for
you.
y'all in a
I'm
minute,
in
let
that
you know.
DM, baby. In that
Yep.
DM.
I'll play for you.